local family's Christmas vacation ends in frustration and confusion from the airline. A family with 5 kids is picking up the pieces after losing their home to fire. And fresh tracks. Saskatoon skiers rejoice as local trails open for the season.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. Chantel is away this week. What was supposed to be a dream vacation is turning into the nightmare before Christmas for one Saskatchewan family, thanks to air travel frustrations. Keenan Sorokon has more on doing everything they can to spend Christmas together.
From 6 months old to 60 years old, Dion Sprout and 13 other family members from Kipling were hoping to spend the week on the beach in sunny Cancun.
This would be just a really special thing for us to do with our family.
Braving icy highways to get to the Regina airport, excitement filled the air until the flight was delayed and ultimately canceled an hour after the plane was boarded and waiting to take off. WestJet says it was because of weather in Regina.
To sit on a plane for an hour and have it canceled, and truly Canadian, when they said that, not a person on the plane said a thing. There was no grumbling.
From there, Sprout and her family had difficulty getting answers from WestJet. Agents at the airport told them to wait hours for email updates, and calls to the 1-800 number either went unanswered or had you waiting an hour or more for a response. In the hours that followed, WestJet offered to split up the family, with some family getting to Mexico through Seattle, LA, or Denver. But some of those flights were also delayed days later, so the family opted to start from scratch and worked with their travel agent to take off on Christmas Eve and return on New Year's Eve. And if that fails, they're out of ideas.
The first thing we're going to look for is a polka band to see if they can take us down. But no, actually, I don't know. We literally don't have a plan.
Air passenger rights advocate Gabor Lukács says you're entitled to compensation for many events outside of weather reasons, which is tough to figure out when airlines aren't forthcoming with information.
The biggest problem today is not simply refusal to pay, but refusal to provide meaningful, detailed information and correct information that they are required to provide by law.
Lukács says not to take an airline at face value and to always ask questions. Sprout says regardless of what happens next, the family will experience it together.
That's all we want to do is be together. But we would prefer to be down in Cancun, where we've now paid for twice.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A family of 7 is picking up the pieces after a devastating house fire destroyed their home east of Saskatoon. Now they're trying to get through one day at a time as the clock ticks down to Christmas. Carla Shinkaruk has their story.
We were on our way home, roughly 12 o'clock, and we were on Circle Drive, and a very kind neighbor phoned us, and she said, "Your house is on fire."
Lane and Rebecca Gennick are still trying to process what's left of their dream home they just moved into in October. That news of the fire came as they were driving home from church with their 5 kids December 14th.
We thought we lived quite close to the city, but it felt like a long ride home. We watched it all the way home, and we could see the flames.
They arrived at their acreage just east of Saskatoon and watched what was once their family home burn to the ground.
Sat in one of our friends' vehicles together, and we just took a big breath and we're like, okay, what do we need to do right now?
With 5 kids between 2 and 10 years old and in school and activities, the reality set in that life had to go on. They remained positive, thankful they were all together and safe.
We need to make sure that we're all fed. We need to make sure we have clothes for the rest of the day. We need stuff for kids for school the next day, Monday. And the kids have skating Monday night. Getting some of those supplies for activities and essentials came thanks to the generosity of friends, family, and strangers. A GoFundMe page was also set up by friends. So many people have been so generous in contributing to that, and every little bit helps. It's been unbelievable. And then our kids' school, they've been putting gifts together and packages together. They're staying at their grandparents' house. Well wishes, like a card signed by 500 students at the kids' school and a delivery to replace lost Christmas gifts, helped them get through.
They came over one night with an unbelievable amount of toys.
The fire is said to have been caused by a faulty gas line. They hope to rebuild in the same spot one day.
We love it out here, and we called it home. We were really excited to be out here.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Jeff, as the calendar ticks closer to Christmas, it's looking more and more like the weather will be very Christmas-like.
Well, certainly most of Canada is going to be getting a white Christmas. Not everybody, and some places are going to be dealing with much more inclement weather than we are. Newfoundland's one example. But we can tell you that we do expect some snow Christmas Eve, maybe even on Christmas Day, but it really is sort of scattershot. It's not a wide, it's not a storm or system with a big wingspan, because it's going to be coming up out of the U.S., sort of sliding into Alberta and cutting across Saskatchewan. So it all depends when it decides to do that cut across. So we'll talk about all of those dance moves later on.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Well, as the holidays near, so does an influx of the influenza virus in Saskatchewan. And Jacob Carr explains the numbers circulating in the province and what health officials are recommending.
The flu bug is circulating in Saskatchewan, according to provincial health officials. The government of Saskatchewan's latest report from the Community Respiratory Illness Surveillance Program shows that in the past month, influenza test positivity has risen from 13.5% to 40.1%, the highest rate since the start of the flu season. According to the report, about 20% of the population has been vaccinated against influenza.
More than 50% of people 65 and older who had highest risk of influenza opted to get the flu shot, so that's really good. People who are younger, 6 months and older, who have underlying risk factors, also in many cases got the flu shot, so that's again good.
Since August 24th, there have been over 2,200 influenza detections. One local pharmacy says they have seen an uptick in the number of patients coming in with flu-like symptoms this month, adding the increase in the number of cases during the holidays is an inevitability.
I think that all of a sudden we're getting like more of the recirculated air. People are inside. People get little sniffles and stuff like that, aren't, washing their hands as often as they should, and staying at work when they should probably be at home, and all sorts of things.
Both Kosciuszko and Shahab recommend people get their flu shots if they haven't already, not just for their personal health, but for those around them who are more susceptible to the virus, like the immunocompromised, young children, and seniors.
It's great if you got vaccinated. If you still didn't get around to it, you can still go and get a vaccine over the next few days and weeks. But the important piece for the holiday season is take care, especially when visiting people who are at highest risk.
Vaccinations are still available at walk-in and pop-up clinics through the Saskatchewan Health Authority, as well as many local pharmacies. Jacob Carr, CTV News, Regina.
As temperatures drop this winter, spending the night outside becomes even more dangerous for the unhoused. Jasmine Peltier now on how the Prince Albert Salvation Army is helping people stay warm this winter.
Earlier this month, the Salvation Army opened the Meeting Place in downtown Prince Albert, a warming center that operates day and night.
We came up with that name last year because we felt it was a little friendlier, a little softer than, let's go to the warming center.
The Meeting Place, which has a maximum capacity of 35, has a seating area for those who need somewhere to spend the night in freezing winter temperatures. There is also food, water, and access to bathrooms. The center saw more than 20 visitors on opening day. Word has since spread about the center, and the number has only gone up.
They need services. They need housing. For some of them, that housing literally is here tonight.
Last year, the warming center operated out of the Salvation Army building, and this year it's taken over the responsibilities of running the center. While the Salvation Army has been working to onboard enough staff to operate the warming center, employees at the Métis Women's Association have stepped in to work the shifts. Métis Women's Association Director Noreen McBride says the association reached out to help get the doors open by December 15th.
You have the infrastructure in place already, you have the location, the building, and you're just short on staffing. We have some staffing. If we could work together, we would partner and be able to open that location as soon as possible.
McBride says that while the Salvation Army staff will take over the night shifts, the Métis Women's Association will continue to help through the winter and hopes to connect the visitors with resources.
Nobody wants to be left behind, especially in the cold. Ultimately, we'd love to see everybody housed. We know there's a number of issues that need to be addressed for a number of them first. And we always hope and pray that that day will come sooner than later.
The Salvation Army says the Meeting Place will be open until April. Jasmine Peltier, CTV News, Prince Albert.
A sentencing date has been set for a man convicted of killing a Saskatoon woman. A jury found Roderick Sutherland guilty on all 3 counts: manslaughter, unlawful confinement, and offering indignity to human remains in the death of 30-year-old Megan Gallagher. Sutherland is scheduled to be sentenced April 13th. Saskatoon's cross-country ski trails have been in use for the past few months, and the skiing community is encouraging folks of all skill levels to give it a try this winter. Hallie Mandrick did just that.
As snow continues to cover much of Saskatchewan, cross-country skiers are hitting the trails.
Yeah, I think it's one of the most accessible sports. You can have a 2-year-old to an 82-year-old do it. If you can stand, you can cross-country ski.
The Nordic Ski Club maintains a number of trails throughout the city which are free to use. This level of accessibility is drawing many new people towards the sport, which has been noticed by local retailers like Jeff's wife, who also happens to own Ebb's Source for Adventure.
Very accessible compared to, say, maybe something like alpine skiing, where there's maybe a bit more fear because you've got a hill and some speed. But you can pick a flat trail, you can pick a hilly trail. Basically, it's pretty easy to just be able to get out and try it, and you just start sliding your feet and see how it goes.
The club president says these trails are intended to encourage outdoor activities during Saskatchewan's colder months.
It's growing in popularity because we're a winter country, we're a winter province. There's lots of winter, so if you're not doing anything outside in the winter months, it's pretty dark and dreary.
While the chilly temperatures can deter many from enjoying the snow, those in the Nordic ski community say taking part in outdoor activities is about much more than simply being active.
Think about it like a kid. Like if it was a snow day, how excited kids are. They're just like, this is amazing. I can go tobogganing, I can be outside, and it'd be wonderful if, like, as a society, we could just, have that same energy and excitement as that kids do to have for winter.
The ski club maintains the track until the snow is melted, so it's available for public use all winter. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A Saskatchewan judge has dismissed a lawsuit filed by a group of victims' families in the Humboldt Broncos bus crash. The crash resulted in the deaths of 16 people and injuries to 13 others on April 6, 2018. A semi collided with the Broncos team bus at a rural intersection near Tisdale. Following the crash, parents of Adam Harold, Jackson Joseph, Logan Hunter, Jacob Leicht, and Mark Cross launched a lawsuit against Jaskrit Singh Sidhu, the driver of the truck that collided with the Broncos team bus, along with several other defendants, including the government of Saskatchewan, arguing claims of negligence. A judge has now ruled in a decision dated December 16th that the lawsuit cannot proceed, saying allegations made in a proposed pleading are not sound in law. Sidhu was sentenced to 8 years in prison in 2019 after pleading guilty to dangerous driving offenses connected with the crash and faces deportation to India following his sentence. Still to come, we will sit down and reminisce with Saskatoon Mayor Cynthia Block. Plus, Lotto fever is running hot in Canada and the U.S. with big jackpots up for grabs. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thank you for staying with us. There is growing tension tonight between the U.S. and Venezuela over access to the South American country's oil resources. Washington has already seized 2 oil tankers and is after a third. But as CTV's Jeremy Sharon reports, the U.S. president's interest in Venezuelan oil could have implications for Canada.
Off the coast of Venezuela, sanctioned oil tankers have become the target of U.S. authorities. 2 have been intercepted and seized already, along with millions of barrels of oil, and Washington says it's after more.
Maybe we'll sell it, maybe we'll keep it. Maybe we'll use it in the strategic reserves. We're keeping it. We're keeping the ships also.
The U.S. has increased its military presence in the Caribbean Sea. Trump ordered a blockade last week, calling it the biggest armada the U.S. has ever had in South America. Today, Venezuelans hit the streets in protest of the U.S. president they called Pirate Trump, who Monday had this warning for Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
He can do whatever he wants. It's all right. Whatever he wants to do. If he wants to do something, if he plays tough, it'll be the last time he's ever able to play tough.
Meanwhile, the tension could have implications for Canada.
Venezuela has some of the largest oil reserves in the world. They're primarily heavy oil and bitumen, which are very much like what Canada's reserves are here in Alberta in the oil sands.
Political instability in Venezuela has given Canadian oil producers the advantage, but if that changes, it could mean increased competition.
This makes it all the more important for us to think about sending our oil again to the Pacific, to a Northwest Pacific pipeline, knowing that the Asian market is growing.
Trump's interest in Venezuelan oil could eventually force a fight for access to the U.S. market. But the question is,
how long would it take to build the projects that could start to displace Western Canadian oil? And I think that would take a long time.
That means time is in Canada's favor. And in the short term, it could actually increase demand for Canadian heavy crude. But it could also lead to uncertainty and price volatility in the market. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
The U.S. Justice Department released a new trove of documents related to sex offender Jeffrey Epstein today. The latest includes around 30,000 pages of documents. And once again, many are heavily redacted. But they do provide yet another glimpse into Epstein's murky world and who exactly was in it. CTV's Abigail Beeman now on what we learned today and what could come next.
Another deluge of documents about sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including an email saying U.S. President Donald Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than previously reported. The trove includes a disturbing letter purported to be written by Epstein to Larry Nassar in prison, the U.S. Olympics gymnastic team doctor convicted of sexual abuse, reading in part, "Good luck. We shared one thing, our love and caring for young ladies and the hope they reach their full potential. And our president also shares our love of young nubile girls, and life is unfair." The letter doesn't mention Trump by name, and CTV News has not confirmed whether it is authentic. Late Tuesday, the Department of Justice said the FBI confirmed the letter is fake after flagging discrepancies such as a postmark from Virginia and not New York, where Epstein was jailed. Haley Robson is an Epstein abuse survivor and former Trump supporter.
I would love to see number 47 get impeached over this.
The Department of Justice posted this controversial message. Some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims against the president, but doesn't mention specifics.
It's troubling, to say the least. The statement now from the DOJ being on the defensive when it was really their job to release these documents, their job to properly redact victims' names that they completely failed to do.
What this whole thing is with Epstein is a way of trying to deflect from the tremendous success that the Republican Party has.
The slow leak of heavily redacted information has been criticized by both Epstein victims and lawmakers. The scandal continues to plague the president and Republicans ahead of the midterm elections in 2026. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's Food Inspection Agency is warning several types of Pillsbury pizza pops are being recalled over concerns they could be contaminated with E. coli. The Canadian Food Inspection Agency says 20 people in 5 provinces got sick. 4 of them were hospitalized in an outbreak of E. coli, now linked to the Pillsbury brand pizza pops. 5 of those who fell ill live in Saskatchewan. Others are from BC, Alberta, Ontario, and New Brunswick. They range in age from 1 to 87. A national recall announced Sunday covers different types of pepperoni and bacon pizza pops products with best before dates of next June. The agency says people who are infected with E. coli bacteria can spread it to others for up to 7 days or even weeks after infection. Well, get your tickets handy. The Lotto Max jackpot remains at a maximum $80 million prize for a 4th draw in a row tonight. It's been nearly 2 months of twice-weekly draws with no ticket matching all 7 numbers picked. The pot has been growing or rolling over from $10 million since one ticket won a $40 million jackpot on October 28th. Tonight's Lotto Max prize pool will also feature 43 Max Millions draws for $1 million each. And in the U.S., the Powerball jackpot, now $1.7 billion after the latest draw without a winner.
Right after that, America, we have 54.
As last night's draw, the 46th without someone taking home the eye-popping prize. The next chance will be Christmas Eve, with the jackpot expected to be the fourth largest in U.S. lottery history, and the odds of winning 1 in 292.2 million. Now to someone who beat those odds. It was a holiday surprise for shoppers near Ottawa today, all thanks to a lottery jackpot winner. Patricia Warden won $70 million last year, and true to her word at the time, she's using that money to help others. CTV's Leah LaRocque has more.
I am here to present you with a Christmas gift today. Really? I am.
An unexpected act of generosity on a trip to the grocery store.
My goodness, I don't believe it.
Leaving Fred Warnell speechless and in tears.
Don't cry, love, don't cry, because you'll make me cry, and I'm ugly when I cry.
Patty Warden giving out more than $20,000 in grocery gift cards. A small act of paying it forward, she says, after becoming a multi-millionaire.
Congratulations, Patty.
Last May, Warden won the $70 million Lotto Max.
Since winning $70 million, Patty has been giving a lot of it away to people in need in the best ways she knows how. She says it's because she knows firsthand what it's like to go without. Some traumatic things happened to me. Then it turned out I had cancer. And then when I got better, instead of being smart and picking up my life where it left off, I ended up downtown on drugs. I was homeless for some time, sleeping on a park bench. And with coffee, you always need a ton of sugar.
After building her life back, the mother of 4 says the money was life-changing.
It's changing the aspect of being able to do more for others, but for my personal self, hasn't changed at all. And today you got a $300 gift card to help with Christmas dinner.
What?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Which is why when Warden heard that many families couldn't afford to put Christmas dinner on the table this year, she wanted to do something.
She's always been like this. I'm not surprised, but I think she's incredible for doing it.
And there was one more surprise for Warnell. He had no idea the gift card was for $300.
My goodness gracious, I don't believe it. I'm lost.
A moment Warden says is priceless.
I want the world to be happy, that's all. I'm just trying to share my happiness.
Leah LaRocque, CTV News.
Hey Saskatoon, it's Earl Prayer from the Steadies here. I've got some exciting news. Our album is dropping Boxing Day. Album release party at the Capitol Music Club. It's going to be an amazing night. We can't wait to play our new music for you. We got our album on vinyl. You can buy it at the show. And we got the Lovelies opening, Jay Melody on the bill. It's going to be a party for sure. And we can't wait to see you there, and stay warm. Happy holidays, everybody. Jeff, how's the weather looking, man?
Well, the weather's looking actually not bad. It's going to be quite nice on, or at least seasonal, on Christmas Day. But on Boxing Day, a little cooler. But as you mentioned, you'll be inside rocking out and keeping warm with the island rock that you guys provide. Minus 14 degrees for a daytime high, so a couple of degrees below seasonal. A chance of some flurries. Friday, 7 o'clock, that's when the doors open at the Capitol Music Club for the big Boxing Day bash and the celebration of the launch of the new album. Thesteadies.ca is where you can get more information. Now, here's more information on our current temperatures at minus 21 degrees right now in Saskatoon, minus 23 in Prince Albert, and minus 22 in the Battlefords. And you know what was great today? Hardly any wind. It was cold out, but it wasn't biting into you. Now, let's take a look at our numbers in terms of the almanac. Well, our temperature, current temperature, is our official 24-hour low. We only got up to minus 19 today for a high. Minus 10 degrees is typical for this time of late December. 5 degrees is the record warm temperature from 1953, and the record cold temperature for December 23rd, minus 41 in 1983. The sun came up at 9:14 and went down at 3 minutes to 5.
Coming up, we sit down with Mayor Cynthia Block. her key takeaways from the year that was. It's just ahead.
CTV Your Morning Saskatchewan is on holidays. On behalf of all of us, we wish you a safe and Merry Christmas. We're back Monday, December 29th.
All right, let's take a quick looky-loo at what's going on with our sky cam. And as I mentioned earlier on, it was a nice day today. Temperatures colder than seasonal, that's certain. But because there wasn't much wind in our region, it was a relatively pleasant day. People were smiling. Even though they're rushing around trying to get things done. But let's take a look and see what we've got going on. We're keeping our eye on this area down in the US of A. This system is going to sort of move up into Alberta and slide across Saskatchewan. The question is where it's going to move in terms of the track it takes. Right now, it might be a bit on the northerly side in the sense that it's going to go north of Saskatoon. But we'll wait and see. Minus 21 degrees right now in Saskatoon, minus 23 in Prince Albert, minus 22 in the Battlefords. And as you can see, not particularly windy in all three locations. Maple Creek was the hot spot today at 5 degrees. Key Lake, the cold spot at minus 41. Around the province we go. Currently, it is minus 25 in Lloydminster, but it jumps up to minus 7 in Swift Current, minus 13 in Regina, minus 12 in Estevan, minus 15 in Yorkton. Into central Saskatchewan, temperatures ranging from minus 16 degrees in Watrous down to minus 22. That's in the Battlefords. And we're looking at temperatures of around minus 20 and actually basically around minus 19, minus 20 in most other locations. Wynyard at minus 17. It's minus 21 in La Ronge, but it's as cold as minus 36 on this part of our map, and that is in Stony Rapids, minus 27 in Key Lake. And down south, 3 on the plus side, still on the plus side in Maple Creek. And there's a few minus single-digit temperatures on this part of our map, but not many. And as you can see, most locations are in the minus teens. No one in the minus 20s, but outlook getting pretty close at minus 18 degrees. Okay, here we go with our future cast. So the computer modeling indicating that, yes, something is coming up out of the U.S. and sliding across the Rockies into central Alberta. Edmonton could see a lot of snow with this system, but we don't anticipate it impacting Saskatchewan in the same fashion. Still, the possibility of 5 to 10 centimeters of snow is there. As I said, it really depends on the track of the snow. Temperature staying in the low to high minus 20s in northern Saskatchewan with a mix of sky conditions. Cloudy conditions for west central Saskatchewan. Temperatures in the minus teens. Into the low minus 20s, down into the southwest where it's relatively mild in Maple Creek, minus 8 degrees, minus 16 in Leader, minus 18 in Outlook. Swift Current at minus 14 degrees on Wednesday, minus 18 in Yorkton, minus 14 in Regina, minus 15 in Moose Jaw, minus 10 in Estevan, mainly cloudy skies in the southeast, and east central Saskatchewan, either cloudy or mainly cloudy conditions and temperatures basically around minus 19 degrees. For the Battlefords, dropping down to minus 26 with a risk of frostbite tonight. A chance of flurries on Christmas Eve with a risk of frostbite, minus 18 for a high. And then, as you can see, look, now it's just going to be cloudy. Forget that flurry activity. So cloudy in the Battlefords, mainly cloudy on Christmas Day, and then temperatures trending downward through the weekend. But Monday, minus 2 degrees, way above seasonal. For Prince Albert, minus 30 degrees with frostbite in minutes to exposed skin with those temperatures, albeit with a light wind. Minus 18 degrees tomorrow. And then we've got ourselves minus 11 on Christmas Day with a chance of flurries. That same chance of flurries on Friday and Saturday with the temperatures trending downward, minus 22 on Sunday, but jumping up to minus 5 on Monday with a 30% chance of flurries. And Saskatoon, minus 23 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Again, a risk of frostbite with that and the northerly wind at 15 clicks. There's a little stronger winds tomorrow, still a risk of frostbite under cloudy skies, minus 18 degrees for Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, minus 11 degrees. That is seasonal. And then trending downward temperature-wise until Sunday, we're minus 21, so 10 degrees below seasonal, but then jumping up to minus 3 on Monday, minus 4 on Tuesday, and folks, those might be the 2 mildest days before we drop off temperature-wise.
This is going to be the adventure of a lifetime. We've dreamed of making this movie ever since we were kids.
In theaters this week, Jack Black and Paul Rudd play amateur filmmakers who set out to create their own version of the 1997 cult classic Anaconda. But things take a chaotic and hopefully hilarious turn when they realize an actual giant anaconda is hunting them. It's the first major collaboration between Black and Rudd. Anaconda is in theaters Christmas Day. legendary singer Barry Manilow has revealed he has lung cancer and will need surgery to remove a spot on his lung. The 82-year-old says the cancer was discovered after an extended bout of bronchitis. The singer added that doctors don't believe the cancer has spread. His January shows are being rescheduled.
A little bit in jest to make Councillor Rilling smile, and a little bit because we do think we have what it takes to be a great Hallmark film. Inspired me to sit down and put pen to paper. And
the mayor of Sylvan Lake wants her town to serve as the backdrop for Hallmark movies, although no one with Hallmark has responded to her letter yet. The mayor plans to send up a follow-up in the new year. She's even hoping to play a small part in a potential Hallmark movie. Well, good luck with that.
Shoot your shot, right?
Yeah, exactly. Hey, what is it? You miss 100% of the balls you don't swing at.
It's true. And now you have some examples of shots, right?
Beautiful images. Nice segue. This one, you can, I think this is a great photo. You can just about feel the bite from the wind. This is from Sid Schmidt, just outside of Waka. And man, you can just see that snow ripping across the frozen tundra. So thank you, Sid, for that picture. Now this one from Denise. Oh, Denise Scooby-Doo. Here we go. Look at this. This is Maggie, my cat, who decided the Christmas tree needs more decoration, like a cat. Boy, I can't imagine what it was like to get the cat out of the tree. Yeah. All righty. All right, this next one comes to us from Sean Murphy, and I assume this is in the Corrobert area, and that great-looking sun dog there, and he simply says, cold, blustery afternoon. And we have a bonus picture from Sean Murphy. Yes, indeed. Today is Irene Murphy's 87th birthday. Now you can see Irene in the middle of the picture there. Her family held an early celebration on the weekend. And of course, here at CTV, we extend our best wishes to Irene. We hope you're having a great day. And want to send out a special hello to her son, Ken. You can see him on the right-hand part of the screen there, who I suspect will be watching a lot of sports over the holidays. So Merry Christmas to all of you, and have a good holiday, Ken. And we'd also say, if you'd like to send it to CFQC News at ctv.ca, and or you can use the QR code on your screen to send those pictures to us.
Still to come on CTV News, we'll look back at the year that was with Saskatoon Mayor Cynthia Block. And it's never too late to find your spotlight. How one photographer is making it happen for some photogenic seniors. We are here in the mayor's office at City Hall with Mayor Cynthia Block, and we're here to talk about two things. The first one is 2025. When you look back at the 365 days as mayor in this office, what do you think of? What comes to mind?
Resilience. And I didn't have to memorize that because actually our staff asked us to come up with one word. And so I've actually been thinking about that, about just how many things our city has gone through and the things that we've had to overcome over the past year, and also with so much to look forward to as well.
Okay. One thing that was on your plate an awful lot over this past year, and it's been there for a couple of years, is the homelessness issue. And we had movement on shelters and care facilities and things like that this year. But the latest count shows, I think it's almost 2,000 people without a home in Saskatoon. And this was one of your big election campaign platforms. So how is it going?
Clearly the numbers speak for themselves in terms of the struggles that we're seeing with people who are unhoused in our city. And I think we're learning more and more how much Saskatoon is a regional hub for people. So when people are struggling in areas of the north or other places where they don't have the same access to services, we are seeing more people coming to our city. And I think that, you know, for all of the reasons that we have to keep I guess the plan moving forward, where we have places for people to be, access to services, and opportunities for people to be safely housed, all of that is true. But when we have people in our city that are, you know, can't be with their families or can't live in their communities where they would prefer to live, we'll continue to lean in with the province to try to see what we can do to find those solutions.
Is there a solution? Can you solve this issue, really? Like, can anyone?
I believe our city absolutely can, but it requires all orders of government to do their jobs. And I've talked for a long time about what it would look like if we are able to unleash the power and creativity of our whole community. And, you know, through the Mayor's Forum, through a Bloomberg Forum that we did recently, that's a program that I'm involved in that is helping to set our city up for success. And I know we can do it if we also are able to work with the other orders of government.
Okay, tax increases are coming in the next 2 budgets. The cost of doing business in a city is higher than ever. This inflation situation is big, and it kind of holds a city hostage, I think. Is it tough to take big swings and really grow and develop when that inflation is looming over every dollar you spend?
Well, every dollar was scrutinized, as you know, and we are not unlike other cities across Canada that are facing extraordinary inflation, many multiples higher than what Consumer Price Index is showing. And, you know, that is going to be a conversation that we need to have at the federal level about creating a new deal about how we fund cities. Property tax is no longer a sustainable model. But I think that all in all, I think we looked at how do we maintain the services that residents rely on every single day and still make sure that we are spending the least amount possible so that we can achieve those goals that our residents expect. And may I say that in doing so, how can we make sure that we're still moving Saskatoon forward? Because without that, you don't attract an additional tax base.
Okay, let's look ahead to the year 2026. What do you see? What do you have hopes for in the year ahead?
Well, I know it would be a lot to hope that every person had a place to call home, but and I mean everyone there. I mean, that's in the attainable housing market as well. I know there are many young people that are, you know, waiting to leave their parents' basement, and others who really just can't figure out a way to get to that next step where they can actually get a mortgage and support that next step in their lives. And to that end, I've been really impressed with our housing starts in 2025, which should bode well for the number of folks that will be able to find housing more affordably, because more housing loosens up the overall price structure as well. And we also have a lot of new apartments that are coming on stream in 2026, including downtown with the Beto development. There's some good news in terms of finding housing. And, you know, that part's pretty important. And we have some really exciting things happening in our city in 2026.
Well, yes, I mean, the mayor is a difficult job, but there's also some fun things to go along with it. And we do have some big events. I think if you look back to when the beginning of COVID, we kind of got screwed out of the Junos there a little bit, right? And we haven't really had that much since, but now they're starting to return. And this year we're going to see some of that.
Yeah, I'm excited for the CCMAs. The Country Music Awards are coming in the fall. That'll be a highlight, and I already have my cowboy boots. Okay, all right. So lots to look forward to, and Mayor Cynthia Block doing her darn best to make everyone in Saskatoon have a great 2026. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and thank you so much. Happy New Year to you and all of you beer wars.
Checking in on some fun-loving seniors using their unique talents to bring back one of the world's most famous plays.
All right, let's take a look at the rural forecast and focusing on Lloydminster. This is the edge of that system that's coming through. So Lloydminster might see 10 to 15 centimeters of snow, whereas everybody else looks like it's not going to be such a big deal. Now, this system may end up going north of this region on our rural forecast. It may go north of Meadow Lake, but you know, Mother Nature has her own ways sometimes, so we'll have to wait and see. Temperatures below seasonal in the high minus teens, low minus 20s, and that certainly includes Melfort, Hudson Bay, and Wynyard all in. Well, look at that, Wynyard, Watrous, and Outlook all in at minus 18, just like Lloydminster, but we're not anticipating snow there. We're also not anticipating a lot in the way of snow in southern Saskatchewan, but I do know I've seen reports the possibility of some freezing rain and some ugly conditions sneaking into this situation. So please, you know, always check the highway hotline, especially if you're traveling on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. So mild conditions down in the southwest as we make our way towards the eastern side of the province, though temperatures do start to drop off. Lots of -15s on the map and -18 certainly up there in Kenora. But let's take a little closer look at Lashburn. Lashburn, we've got ourselves snow, so they might be seeing more in the way of that 10 to 15 centimeters amount, maybe not quite as much, but certainly snow that you sort of see going through the Lloydminster area. Wind gusts up to 40 clicks, -19 degrees, and that's how things are shaping up in Lashburn. And Lashburn is where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
According to the Retail Council of Canada, there's been an alarming rise in the circulation of fake $20, $50, and $100 bills. The council says in the past month alone, its members have reported more fake bills than in the entire previous year. They say counterfeits have become so good, they're almost impossible to detect, especially during the holidays when retailers are busy and in a rush. They believe they're being printed by organized crime and are calling on the government and the police to do more to stop it. Canadian businesses lose close to $9 billion per year to theft and fraud. A photographer in Edmonton is giving seniors a chance to channel their inner model. As CTV's Narima Issa explains, it's a boost of confidence with the click of a button.
So you're going to go like this, and you're going to go, oh my God.
With a little coaching, Magdalena Barry gets her shot.
Great. All right, we got that look going down.
This photo shoot is part of Barry's Timeless Tales by Mag series.
I celebrate vibrant seniors over the age of 80. I feel that they have a lot to say. They want to be seen, heard.
Barry meets with the seniors at their homes. She gets to know them before capturing them on camera.
Sometimes I think I enjoy the process more than they do. I just love seeing them come alive.
For Del Dilkey, getting to glam up is something she enjoys.
But I'm just Del, and I just love being myself.
The 95-year-old is celebrating her birthday with a photo shoot.
I don't think I'm nervous or anything. I just do what they tell me to.
Dilkey and Barry met at a women's event and became friends shortly after. Barry says Dilkey shines, both on the outside and inside.
It's her attitude that brings her longevity. And that's what I want to tell the world, too. Look at this lady. She's connected. She's got this wonderful personality. And so people want to be around her. So look at me. Oh, I love it.
Barry says giving seniors a chance to come out of their shell and pretend they are a model for a day is a rewarding experience.
But I've had clients in here where they do come in a little bit stiff, even though they've known me for quite a while now. And then they start doing the Vogue poses because they realize this is fun.
Barry wants these seniors to see the beauty in themselves.
And I do it. I don't know how good I am, but I'm really enjoying it.
To show that age is just a number and that being fabulous is timeless. Naramisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Seniors at a Saskatoon care home put on a Christmas performance for the ages this week. This is Bethany Manor, and these people performing their show Nativity on Wheels, telling the story of the birth of Jesus. We've got the choir there, Mary and Joseph, but the stars of the show here, the wise men turning their power chairs into camels.
Very creative.
Shepherds, and look at that, using all the tools at their disposal to put on this timeless.
I think we're going to see the Star of the East here. There it is, right there. Star of Wonder, Star of Light, Star of Royal Beauty Bright.
Awesome props.
Yep, exactly.
Going to see any stars tonight?
It's going to be kind of cloudy. We have got ourselves a bit of an increasing cloud tonight. If we have time for, do we have time for this? I guess we don't have time for this. I can tell you that it's going to be okay tomorrow, but Christmas Day is looking okay in Saskatoon.
All right, we will be back at 11:30.